All right, here we are, podcast time. It's been a minute. I should have done this last week, and I should have done this the week before, but I didn't because I lost focus on it, and I didn't post, which I guess means that now we're going to have two posts this week. One on today, which is Monday, but I guess when I post this, it's going to be Tuesday because technically it's Tuesday. It's past midnight, so it's Tuesday. And I want to post this every Friday, and it's like, man, I know the importance of being consistent with things, like with the Dancing Eyes podcast, I was consistent with that. I did it every other week, and it's the only thing in my life where, I was super consistent with it, and a following came, and it was great, and I want to be consistent with everything that I do, so it sucks I didn't post the last 2 weeks, man, but here we are, right? I can't go back in time, can't make better decisions in the past, but all I can do is I could make the right decision at the current moment, and that's what I'm trying to do right now, which is why I am filming the podcast right now. And yeah, dude, I would be journaling right now, but I get the podcast is just another form of journaling, so I'm just going to do this instead. I might go ahead and journal when I'm done with this, but this is good for now. Posted a video today. Dude, I got such an issue with looking at views. It's such a fucking issue. It's just I think I have an issue with dopamine. I just can't stop doing things that feel good right now. It's really difficult for me to push back what feels good right now and just not worry about it, It's like when it comes to putting out content and doing creative ventures, it's like you could do two different things. You could be caught up in the results of the creative venture that you do, or you could fucking focus on creating more shit. One of them feels a lot better than the other one. Creating a video that you're really proud of feels 100 times better than clicking refresh on your page 100 times to see that your video has 100,000 fucking streams or some bullshit. It seriously feels so much better to just create something than it does to look at the views. It's not even fucking close, dude. And it's no matter how much I know that, it's still really hard for me to not look at views, and it's fucking annoying. It's the one thing that I'm struggling with right now. But I could be struggling with a lot worse things. I have a lot to be grateful for. Yeah, I could be doing better in certain aspects of my life, but I could be doing a lot worse too, dude. I could be doing a lot worse. 3 years ago, man, I was moving out for the first time because I feel like that was rock bottom for me, right? I was 20. I guess I was 19 when I hit rock bottom, dude. I left Publix because I hated the job. I wasn't friends with anybody. I hated all my coworkers. They hated me. I didn't really hate them. I just never got along with anybody. I never really built any relationships with coworkers. My stupid fucking manager at Publix was calling me retard boy when I wasn't there, and people had to tell me about it. And whenever my manager at Publix did talk to me, he called me. He did not call me my name. He called me somebody else's name. And he called me the name of somebody who was constantly made fun of because he was slow. And he called me that person's name because I was also a little slow at my job. So instead of being a respectful, nice person, the douchebag called me somebody else's name because he thought that it was funny and everybody else thought it was funny. So Wayman, go fuck yourself, dude. I'm happy that you lost your job. Go fuck yourself, dude. You're not benefiting society in any way. Seriously, fuck you, dude. And if I ever make it, I'm getting a little. This is a little unnatural for me to get so mad at somebody. But yo, if I ever make it big, bro, and I have a platform, I'm gonna take that opportunity to go say fuck you, you fucking piece of shit, Wayman, in front of everybody, dude. Go fuck yourself, dude. Seriously. So many harsh words I could say to that asshole. What a piece of shit. What a tremendous piece of shit. You know, I pray almost every single night, and I pray to be the almost complete opposite of what this human piece of garbage was like. This dude treated me so bad, treated everybody else so bad. But, like, man, people liked him because he was funny. And it's like, man, sometimes just being a decent human being is better than being funny. What a fucking douchebag. I could literally talk on this asshole for an hour, but that's not the kind of energy that I want to surround myself with. I want to surround myself with, like, I want to be grateful for things. I want to be happy about things. I want to be grateful for the way that the beautiful people in my life are. I don't want to be resentful or be angry about some people who did me wrong or were pieces of shit to me. So that's the end of my rant on that stupid fucking asshole Wayman. All right, sorry, I had to add that at the last bit in there. Anyway, that was the end of 2019. I guess I left that job in January 2020, dude. And man, just first half of 2020 was so bad, man. I even look back at journals from when I first started journaling, February 2020. And dude, man, I just remember I was 205 pounds at the time, and I'm a small dude. I'm 5'7". 205 at 5'7" is not a good look. That's fucking obese, dude. I was fat as fuck. I had no fulfillment in my life. That was the point of my life where I was still trying to be a music producer, and I was trying to work on that, but nothing was clicking. I just wasn't naturally good at producing. And I tried, but I just wasn't good. Like, there's so many... I'm so grateful right now that I found stand-up comedy or the podcasting or just utilizing factors about my own personality and my mind that are good. And unfortunately for me in 2020, I didn't know that music wasn't supposed to be the thing. I thought that was the thing, and it's a good thing that I did it, because it led me to where I'm at now. So yeah, man, 2020 was rough, and then COVID started, and we were quarantined, and I was locked inside the house and didn't go anywhere. I would wake up, I would go into the living room, and I'd play Madden, and I'd play Madden Ultimate Team until I'd started at like noon, and I'd play until like 2 a.m. I would do it all day. It was my whole life was just Madden Ultimate Team, man. I was so addicted to it. I fucking hated myself. I hated my life. I hated that I had so much potential and I wasn't utilizing it. I hated that when I was playing Madden in the living room, my mom would walk past me and she would look at me, and I knew that she was looking at me, and I wasn't doing the right thing, and I was disappointing her. And dude, fucking 2020 got so bad that there was one point where I was so down bad, man. I painted one of my fingernails pink. I just wanted something, man. I just wanted to feel something. I painted one of my fingernails pink. It was rough. It was so bad that I decided to move out and go back to college, because I had already given up on college once at that point. And I think it was about like maybe April or May where I decided to move out when school started. And I signed a lease to move out in August, and I started school in August, and that was like a new chapter for me. And man, that was like the beginning of a new life for me. It really was. I feel like I've had two different lives. I've had a few different lives. Like the first life that I lived was a life where I had money, and my family was wealthy, and I lived in a mansion. And second chapter of my life, man, I was, adjusting to life without the money, adjusting to a new life, and just growing up and going through teenage years and hitting the age of 20. And I could be wrong, but I think that probably the third chapter of my life was when I finally decided to move out and start living on my own. And that was the day that I finally moved out, that was in August 2020. And that's fucking 3 years ago. Shit, dude, it's August 15th right now. Oh, fuck. So today is, wow, I didn't even realize this is the 3-year anniversary of the day that I moved out for the first time. That's like the 3-year anniversary where I really think that my life changed forever. Fuck, I didn't even realize that. That's crazy, man. Like, you know what? I'm definitely doing some journaling after this because I've got some reflection to do on that. But yeah, man, that was. Even though after I moved out, I ended up moving back in with my mom and Francesco again. It's I still think that was the beginning. I think that was the beginning. And the second beginning was when I started the Dancing Eyes podcast, and the third beginning was when I started doing stand-up comedy, and here we are today, and so fucking grateful for all of that shit. Super grateful for the Dancing Eyes podcast and for stand-up comedy. Super grateful for the fact that I'm starting to learn who I am and starting to extravagate for myself what is good for the world and what is good for me. I'm starting to learn about myself and put myself out there, and life is so much better today than it was 3 years ago. Fuck, it's so much better. Oh my God. Whew. I was so lost. And I'm sure I'll be lost again, but I've never been so found before. Like I've never felt so fulfilled. I didn't know what fulfillment was when I was in my when I was 20 years old, when I was 19 years old. I always had the idea of fulfillment. I always had the idea in my head of like what could happen when I stuck with things and when I put myself forward. And I always had the idea, and I just never really executed. And I was just one of those people where I had an idea and then fell through, had an idea and then fell through, and just over and over again. And I'm so grateful for all of the recent things that I've decided to not give up on. I think the Dancing Eyes podcast is really like the big thing that got me going. And man, I'm bringing back the podcast, dude. I'm bringing back the Dancing Eyes podcast. I'm going to release an episode every Monday, every first Monday of every month. So, for the initial run of the podcast, it was the first and third Monday of every month. And now we're going to do first Monday of every month. I think that it's totally reasonable. I think if I can't put it out an episode once a month, then I am fucking lying, dude. Because realistically, I could do 2 episodes a month. I just think that we're better off doing 1 a month. Let's start at 1 a month, and that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna film an episode in a couple of days. I'm gonna film an episode on Thursday. I'm excited for that, and man, I got some editing to do. I'm gonna post that shit on the first Monday of September, and I'm pumped for that, man. That community deserves it. They've done so much for me. They've done so fucking much for me, and I'm super appreciative of them. And I feel like I kind of just dipped and I just left. And yeah, dude. So looking forward to doing that. Spoke to my grandfather today, and he kind of like brought back the idea of me potentially joining the ANN board. And man, I think it might be a good idea. I'll tell you what, ever since I went to that conference, I've gained a lot of respect for ANN, which I should probably talk about the conference, right? Because my last episode, shit, I didn't even remember this. The last episode that I filmed for the podcast was the night before I was leaving for the conference. I filmed and posted that episode a few hours before I was leaving for the conference, and I was doing my Utopia review. And I should probably at least talk about how the conference went, right? I mean, shit. It's not really so fresh on my mind right now as it was a couple of weeks ago when I was returning from Nashville, but it's still, pretty fresh on my mind. And man, it was just a great experience. Putting myself out there and talking in front of all those people for an hour is one of the most terrifying things that I've done, and I seriously was very nervous. I woke up that morning and I shat 4 times within an hour, which is probably a record for me. I haven't been nervous many times in my life, but I have had some really nervous moments, and recently the most nervous moments have been doing stand-up comedy for the first and second time. Both of those were beyond awful. And I'd say that the third most nervous that I was doing this talk for the ANN conference. And dude, fuck, man, if I haven't been doing stand-up comedy for over a year, this talk would have been number one. I mean, this talk would have been crazy because at this point I would have had no public speaking experience at all. So super grateful for the stand-up comedy for this specific aspect as well. Because if I hadn't done stand-up and I was asked to go talk for an hour in front of those people, and it's going to be live streamed and my friends and family are going to watch it, dude, I have no idea what I would have done. Oh, that would have been absolutely terrifying. It was terrifying enough, even with the year of stand-up comedy experience. So I thought it went well. I think that my talk in 2 years from now is going to be better. I'm going to be better at speaking. I'm going to have more stuff to talk about, and my talk's going to be better. But for the first time for me talking for an hour in front of people, I think it went pretty good. Could have been better, yeah, but it could have been a lot worse, and I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. Fuck. Yeah, I'm proud of myself. I'm very easy to be judgmental on myself, and it's super easy for me to be harsh on myself. Most of my day is just me critiquing myself. Most of my waking life is just me being nitpicky on myself and hating myself and saying, why do I look like this, or why did I do that? Why can't I focus? Why can't I be disciplined? Why does ice cream taste so good? Why don't I work out? Why do I have to keep scrolling on Instagram? These are the thoughts that can contain most of my life. This is most of the stuff. It's very easy for me to be judgmental on myself, but I'm also quite proud of myself. I think that I've done a lot, and like I mentioned earlier in this podcast, I could have done a lot worse with my life, man. Over the past few years, I could have decided never to move out in 2020. I could have decided never to start journaling, or I could have just had the idea of the Dancing Ass podcast in my head forever and never started it, or stopped being consistent with it. I could have never picked up stand-up comedy, dude. My life could be so much fucking worse, dude, and I'm fucking so happy that it's not. Fuck, dude. I'm so grateful that I'm not where I was in 2020. I don't know how I'd be able to live with myself. I fucking hated myself. And I'm not the biggest fan of myself right now, but I can at least appreciate myself. I can at least be proud of the things that I've done. Back in 2020, I don't think I've ever been able to be proud of myself. I was doing therapy in late 2019, early 2020, and my therapist, Dane, asked me what were a few good qualities of myself that I could name. And dude, I couldn't name one. I thought for minutes it felt like, but I'm sure it was like closer to 30 seconds. And he said, just like, name 3 things about yourself that you love. And I couldn't name one thing. I couldn't say a single thing. There was nothing. The only thing that I could think of after maybe 30 seconds of thought was that I'm a decent friend and that I try to care about my buddies. It was rough, dude. And obviously people have had it worse. Obviously, like, there's always a roof on my head at the time. But life was rough, dude. I had my ass kicked, and I'm going to get my ass kicked again. I know it's coming, bro. But it's the ability to get up from that, like when I was 20 and when I was getting my ass kicked, I did make the decision to move out and try to be more proactive in my life in a real way. And that real way was for me to move out and to start school. And yeah, dude, I fucking flunked out of school. I'm not going to lie. I flunked out quick. I started school and I got all these grants, and I don't think I passed a single class. I really don't. I don't think I passed a single class. Yeah, I moved out, and yeah, I was paying rent every month. And I was working like a part-time schedule. I was working. But I flunked out of those classes, dude. I'd have like 9 a.m. classes, and I would wake up and I would just fall asleep during my classes. I just flunked out. I couldn't care less about school, dude. I tried. I can say right now that I tried with school, and it is not my thing. There are so many other things that are my thing, and school just isn't one of them. And it is what it is. I tried with school, but flunked out. And yeah, man, I don't. Just the experience that I had a couple of weeks ago in Nashville, and just the love that I received from everybody at the conference, and from listeners of the podcast, and people that I met online through the podcast, even people who I had never met before coming up to me because they liked the podcast. I had parents come up to me, and fuck. And fucking, oh, Jesus Christ. My parents coming up to me with their children and introducing their children to me. This is going to be quite the listening experience, dude. All of this silence. Oh, fuck, dude. So grateful. Fuck. Oh. I mean, like, this past year, man, like, this, through the Dancing Ice podcast and through the comedy, it's really showed me that life can be good, you know? Like, it's not all bad. Anyway, I fucking shat myself the other day. I shat myself for like the third time this year, which is quite impressive. I don't think I've done it that many times in a span of 12 months ever. I was in the hallway and my mother was walking past me, and I did what a good son does, and I tried to fart on her, and I pushed, and dude, it was more than a fart. And honestly, when I realized that I had shat myself, I wasn't even mad, because I was like, damn, this is number 3 this year, and we're only in August right now, and this is number 3, and it's like, maybe I should go for the record now. Like, maybe I should try to, maybe I should go for 4 and go for 5. See how many times I could shit myself. So what? I have to buy new underwear. It's like, I have a job. I could afford it. It's not like I'm breaking my phone or anything. I'm just shitting myself. I could get new underwear. So yeah, that was one of the highlights of my week, was shitting myself. Fuck, dude. Anyway, I don't think I have anything else to add for this episode. This is it. Yeah, it's me crying for half of the episode. Jesus. I wonder if this is going to be just as long as all the other episodes have been. Anyway, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm going to not go to sleep. I have some other shit to do. I definitely have to write. Do my nightly routine and shit. Hopefully I can stay off of Instagram. I pray. All right. Anyway, peace. This has been episode 5. I'll be back for episode 6 in a couple of days. Dope.